Howdy Mike, here it's your birthday, so I thought maybe you and me could walk down the road over there and have a drink in one of the saloons. But first, maybe you'd like to see some of these pictures. Do you remember this photo being taken? I certainly do. If you look down on the bottom right hand corner, you'll see September the 9th 2001. That was 2 days before 9/11. After that the world changed and it would never be the same again. We met up because I brought my mother back from the USA back home to Leigh-on-Sea, and we'd found a country show to go to. And of course, if you go to a country show, you just got to find the beer tent, haven't you? Wish I could remember the beer we were drinking, but it was very nice. I don't know about you, but I tend to segregate my life into eras, and really the first era that we shared was the BBC era, and I have absolutely no photographs of you and I in those heady days, although I can remember much of it. After that came the Batonhurst era, and this photo must have been taken right at the very start of it, because here we're with George and Jeanette and their kids, and no John Hart, so we probably hadn't even been introduced to John Hart at that particular point. It was a cold, cold day though, wasn't it? I well remember this dinner at George Henson's house, and here we can see John and Val making their first appearance. That was a good dinner. Must have been quite a big celebration. There was a lot of booze on the table, although we never needed much excuse, did we? I can't remember the occasion. Maybe you can. My best guess is it was New Year's or something like that. Sadly, almost no record of the Batonhurst era survives, and the reason for that is in those days I took slides and not photos, and all my slides collection really didn't survive the digitization process and the move from one apartment to the other. This is one of the very few that did get digitized and survived, and you weren't involved with this one, but it was a New Year's Eve fancy dress, I seem to remember. This sadly is the last time I ever met John and Val. I'm not sure if it was part of the same trip back to the UK as the previous photo, but I remember going to visit them at Batonhurst, and we stood outside and had this photo taken, and regretfully I never saw them again. The next era that our paths crossed must be the Malaysian era, at least for me the first one, 1997 to 1998. These two photos are titled Dinner in the Room, so we were gathered in one of our rooms in the Mikasa Hotel and having a meal. Someone must have cooked it. I remember the occasion, I don't remember the chef. My mind's a bit woolly on this particular subject, but as far as I'm aware, we only spent one Christmas in Malaysia, which must have been 1997, because by the end of 1998 I was in America. So all these next photos were shot in various locations, and they're loosely titled Christmas in a Box because that's what Julia sent us out. How we managed the turkey I've completely forgotten, because I'm sure that didn't come in the box. I'm sure Mike's ingenuity would have helped us there. So this must have been the same Christmas, and we went around Ian Bett's apartment for another party. Yes, I remember it well. I think you had a bit too much scotch that day, from what I remember. But this is also a very interesting pair of photos, because it's my only photographic record of Tony Small, shown there on the right, and him and I had many miles under the belt. We worked together in Hong Kong, certainly in 93, maybe even 91 as well. He tragically died young of heart problems. I well remember remember this photo being taken. It was our first trip down to Singapore for the weekend. This was your car. You were filling it up at the gas station. Of course, as usual, we never did much more than go into the first pub we found, did we? And these photos were taken inside Molly Malone's on Robertson Quay, as I remember, a pub that I've visited many times since then on my travels through Singapore, and I always raise a glass to you. And here is the gang of four stood outside Molly Malone's. Remember it well. This photo of you was taken in the Merchant Court Hotel. Again, another hotel that I've been in many times subsequently, and never stayed there, as I remember, alone, but I've used it as you know, hostelry and a place to chill out and meet people. Love that hotel. Thanks for finding it for us. Then I think towards the end of the project we went for a trip to Australia, didn't we? And this photo was taken the most easterly point. We had a great time on a fishing trip on Slim's boat, and boy, it was rough. Do you remember? And these two photos were taken right after the trip when we got back, and never seen you looking more tired. And I'll just wrap up this photographic record with this one, which was taken on a boat trip we went on. Still keep thinking it's Christmas, but it can't have been. But it was a great trip. We looked happy. It's a great way to finish. So let's mosey on down the road and go and have ourselves a shot of a red-eye or two. Okay, so we're now walking down the main street of Tombstone. It's called Allen Street. This is where most of the action took place back in the late 1880s, and you can still pick out some of the old historic buildings. This is the OK Corral. This is not where the gunfight at the OK Corral took place. Through those doors, that was the entrance to the OK Corral. That's where the Clantons and the Clowries walked through for their fatal meeting with the Earps. There's old Groner in the truck. This building here used to be the bank. It's also Children's Hospital for some time. And ghostly sightings of children in the window have been reported. Not by me, but I've seen stuff in this town too. This is where the old Can restaurant used to be. Now a studio. On this corner here, it's now Arlene's. Geez, Arlene. This is where Virgil, Morgan and Wyatt met up on their fateful journey down to the gunfight at the OK Corral, which wasn't at the OK Corral. It was actually the gunfight on Fremont Street in a vacant lot next to the OK Corral. But they met up here, and they walked down there, down 4th, turned left to meet their destiny.
Oh, you can probably
So, we're going to go into Big Nose Kate's. This used to be the Grand Hotel. I'll explain that to you later. I'm going to go in. Good afternoon, Miss Linda.
What are you doing
I wonder if I might have a drink here, please. I've just come in with my good buddy. It's his birthday, and we'd like to have a drink. Would that be all right?
Well, your buddy can stay, but you can't.
Oh no, come on, give me a break. How many times do I have to put up with this?
After what you did to my sister all the time, mister.
We'll look into that later.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Look, I just want to sit down and have a beer.
Give
Come
me
on.
your gun.
What, are you hanging out with those Earps again?
I sure am.
Not enough, they take a gun. You've got two as well.
I'd like to.
So can I sit over there,
Sit
please?
down. Sit down, be quiet.
All right, I promise I won't say
Sit
anything.
down now.
So, Miss Linda, what have you got against me? Is it something to do with your sister or
Yeah,
what?
you married my sister.
Yeah, that's well and good, but it's not my fault she ran off with that hardware salesman.
How can you blame her for running off with him? Have you seen yourself lately? Look at you.
Goodbye, Jerky, she said. That's what she used to call me in our tender moments. Love, honesty and decency does not abide in you.
What did you say?
Goodbye, Nora, I said. I hope that nail-hammering bastard keeps you in the lap of luxury that I could not afford to.
She's a lot better off without you.
Well, if you ask me, I'm a lot better off without her. That's a fact. So this is my friend Linda, and we often hang out together in here. And next time you're in town, maybe Linda can dress you up, do something, you reckon?
I'd love to do that to Mike and Julia.
Okay.
Okay.
Right by this piano.
Right by here. And my sister.
And your sister is up there.
Yeah, that's her.
That was her. God. Well, it was a lovely night anyway. It's a pity the rest of the wedding didn't work out quite as well. But anyway, there we are. Thank you. See you, Mike. Bye-bye.
Bye, Mike.
So, Mike, there's a beer for me. There's a shot of whiskey for you. The whiskey is Old Overholt. It was supposedly Doc Holliday's favourite tipple. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it. This is my Western selfie stick. Back in the old days, the only selfie stick they have is a Winchester. So here we are. Like I said, this used to be the Grand Hotel, and where we're sitting now, this is the ground floor, and that used to be the lobby. Hello, hello, Sharon. This used to be the lobby, and the rooms were upstairs and downstairs, where there's a gift shop now. That used to be where part of this bar was, and the big fire in 1881 destroyed most of what you see now, including the top story. The front facade is original, and in fact the original Grand Hotel went back over that way one further shop width, if you like, and half of this bar that we're sitting at is original, and so you and me, we're having a drink here at the same bar that Doc Holliday bellied up to, the Earps, and obviously the Clantons and the Clarys as well. And this floor down here, this section of the floor is original, so that's where they stood. There is a lot of history still left in this town, providing you know where to find it. That's the thing. You got to really know where to find it. But you know, I've been here a couple of years now, and I like Old West history, so you can kind of rely on me to ferret these things out. See you later. Well, we're back home again now, so for the last time, hope you have a happy birthday, Mike. You're only a couple of months ahead of me. Where did it all go, eh? All those years, all those memories we shared. Where did it all go? Julia, please give my regards to your sister. I know she never liked me. After watching this, she probably likes me even less now. But I invite her out to Tombstone. She can share some time with me. I'll have her dressed up as a can-can dancer and performing in the Oriental before you can say Big Nose Kate. Bye.